Thank you, Chairman Crapo, and thank you, Chairman Clayton, for being with us and for your candor. I want to drill down a little bit on the certified audit trail, the CAT issue, which is, of course, by design to collect a lot of personal, sensitive financial information. In fact, information on every retail brokerage client in our country, as I understand it, which should amount to, by my calculations, over 100 million clients. And that's in and of itself, that much data, that much sensitive information compiled in one place is, has its challenges. But in addition to that, the SROs, as I understand it, with some 3,000 people, 24 organizations, will have the ability not only to access it, but then to be able to bulk download it into their systems. I didn't used to be paranoid, but I've come to a point where the ability for institutions to secure that much data with this, especially sort of this broad application of it, concerns me. And I'd love for you to help me feel more comfortable with what the SEC is doing to protect against attacks and cyber challenges with that kind of a risk.
Yeah, the CAT is a good example of, I think, how we should look at a lot of large data projects. I agree with your concern, and the question is, the fundamental question is not what data would we like to have, but what data do we need to do the job. And we're going through a process with the SROs and others. I think we can significantly limit. I've said, just speaking for myself, phone book information from individuals should enable us to do our job and have the CAT function in the way it was envisioned to function. So that reduces the risk because the data isn't as sensitive. And then, of course, the other side of the coin is what type of security protections do you put in place, and how do you ensure that those security protections can evolve as the threats evolve. So that's kind of a general summary, but we're working on reducing the sensitive data and ensuring that folks have insight into and we continue to improve the security protections.
Well, to just drill down a little further, then, my understanding is that the firms are required to sign this CAT reporter agreement, which in essence shields the SROs from liability. And anytime we start shielding institutions or individuals from liability, I always ask, well, why? Why is that necessary? I mean, if the safeguards are in place, it only adds to my insecurity, if you will, Mr. Chairman. So I'm just, from my point of view, this is highly risky, and I believe a breach will eventually happen. But I hope that the SEC can prevent that. Obviously.
I'm aware of the issue around the allocation of potential liability, and I'm actually meeting tomorrow with representatives of the SRO community and what I'll call the dealer community to discuss the issue.
Sure. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Busy day tomorrow.
It sounds like it.